E.
Oh boy. Okay, guys, we're back. Back at it again. Season 4, episode 2 of The Kardashians. Now, you guys know that we love to hate and hate to love to do these reviews. So, take it away, E.
All right. So this episode is called "When Is Being Me Gonna Be Okay?" Question mark. All right. So similar to our other videos, I'm gonna break it down in different sections, and then we're gonna review it and talk about it, criticize them. You know the works. What we always do.
Right.
All right, so this section 1, we're at Khloe's house and she's throwing the family a martini party after Cabo because you went on a lavish family vacation and now you need to have a party and drink martinis, right?
Of course. Naturally.
Obvio. So the producer asks Tristan because he was there, Trish Trash.
Yeah.
Tristan, how have you been? That's what I was thinking in my mind. You know that silence that you had?
Yeah.
So he says that he's all right, and life throws monkeys at you. Oh wait, monkey wrenches throws monkeys at you. Did I write that right? I don't know what I wrote.
Wrenches.
Monkey wrench. Oh, I left the monkey wrenches.
Monkey
It's probably monkey wrenches. I'm like,
Yeah,
why
yeah,
did I just say monkeys? Throws monkey wrenches at you sometimes. So, here they do a little recap of season 3 events. And then basically, they tell us Tristan and Amari live with Khloe. Tristan says it's always good to have family behind you and make everything better. I'll tell you my thoughts later. Khloe is overwhelmed and stressed at times, but she's not the one going through pain. Chris walks in with a Martini somalier. And then they all drink martinis. Yep. Kim arrives and wants Jello shots. I don't know how Kim got so.
I tell you how. Divorce.
Okay. Kim says that she gets drunk with 2 drinks, and that she has so much fun and dances. And then this is where she name drops Beyonce. Like, ask Beyonce how much I dance and have fun. And oh my God, I dropped it low. What's low for Kim? I'm like, her ass is so big, it's already touching the floor. She ain't going nowhere. Like, whatever. I said it. I don't care.
Even okay.
Okay, so the producer asks Kim what's her relationship with Tristan, or I guess her and Khloe's. So Kim says that he's a great dad and friend, but he couldn't get it together and be faithful. Be a faithful boyfriend. You want to hate him, and I wanted to hate him, and we've had arguments and fights about it, but he has decent qualities, aka he's a good person and a good friend. When Kim was struggling with her kids, he stepped up. He showed up to the games. He picked up Saint, took him to dinner, and we'll come to Kim's defense, I guess, when people were talking crap about her and, Ye, her ex-husband. Then later on, they talk about Amari and, his health condition, and he has the worst type of epilepsy. Chris says that Khloe's compassion for Tristan and Amari is extraordinary, which it is. I got to give her that.
Yeah.
Amari is teaching them life lessons. Basically, life is a beautiful thing. Kim then proceeds to say that she's going to be speaking at Harvard. She says that it's a big deal. They're reviewing skims in a case study. And then she's going to Ohio to meet Kevin Keith, who is serving a life sentence, and she wants to raise awareness on his case. What do we think?
So a sommelier, Martini sommelier.
Like, she just has him handy. Like, come here.
Like, do you just Google Martini sommelier? Are they on Yelp? Like, how do you... Is this a rich people thing?
Probably Fiverr. I don't even know at this point. But, that little segment with the sommelier, I was like, how different is this from Keeping Up with the Kardashians?
Oh my
This is so
God.
unrelatable that it was disgusting. I was like, what? You can't even make your own martinis? And then you get mad that Kendall can't cut a cucumber? Why? O sea, we see why. But go ahead.
Well, okay, so of course, super over the top and emblematic of the problems that society has today with
Mm-hmm.
their idolization of these kind of people. But um trash. Okay, like
It feels like at this point we just keep saying the same things over and over.
it does. It really does.
Yeah.
But what Kim said, I'm happy for her that she had that sort of support, that she had that sort of help, but Khloe didn't. Tristan's two other baby mamas don't. So that's kind of hard for me to like, oh yeah, he's a great guy. He's a great guy.
Well, I think that Khloe does experience the good dad. Based on this episode, they kept saying how great of a dad he is. So if we
Right.
take it with a grain of salt, he's a great dad to True and what's the other
Dream.
little jit's name?
Oh,
Tatum.
it's a dream. Tatum.
Tatum. To Chloe's kids, not to his other kids, Prince and
Theo.
ese, Theo. So
Yeah.
I don't know. How can you be a good dad if you're not good to all your kids?
Yeah. And so here's the thing that I will go ahead and like in a way give credit. Okay. Like we're not there, right? We're all on the outside looking in. We don't know the sort of person he is to these people, right? Like just personally or whatever. Could he be a great friend? Sure, probably. But like I speak for me as like my own experience. Like if it were me, I could never in a million years be friends with my sister's ex who did all that to her. Like, no, I couldn't. I don't care how great of a father you are. I don't care if you have like tried to be a good friend. Like, I wouldn't give you a chance to try and be a good friend to me because there'd be no friendship like ever, you know?
Mhm.
And that's just because boundaries, right? Like there to me is a very large boundary. And I don't know, maybe it's like in Hispanic culture in general, it's like you don't mess with like, certain things. So if this person hurts my sister, I'm not going to turn around and befriend them because they do something nice for me. You know? It's like I can be grateful, I can say thank you, but keep you over there. Like and I can go ahead and be like, okay, well, as the father of, my nieces and nephews or whatnot, I can respect that that is the role, right? Aside
Mhm.
from that, it's none of my business. I have no reason to have anything else to do with this person. So, like, in that sense, to me, Kim is inserting herself a little too much in that, you know? And it just kind of feels like maybe Khloe doesn't feel that way. She probably doesn't because she seems like she's just like got a big old heart. But it just kind of seems like she's not getting the right sort of support she needs. You know? I don't
Yeah.
know. Maybe I'm just overthinking it.
No, I think that we've seen like in some clips where Kendall is saying, mom is like not rooting for us,
Oh,
basically.
yeah, that's a
And, basically kind of rooting for Tristan and not being on the daughter's side.
right.
So, but this is another case of, of the Scottism. What happened with Scott? You mentioned it like in our conversation.
Yeah,
This is what Khloe did to Courtney because
yeah.
Kim wasn't really friends with Scott. And, they're still hanging out. We'll see in episode 3, Scott's coming back. So it's like he's always around. They try to get them back together. The father of the kids, this is important. We're all family. And
Yeah.
let's not forget that these men kind of don't have a family of their own at this point.
Right.
Tristan's mom passed away earlier this year. We know Scott's family, mom
Passed
and
away.
dad passed away, close to each other, kind of thing. Who else? Kanye, of
Kanye.
course.
Yeah.
So we see trends here. You know, they try to adopt all these kids. So I say that to say, now Kim is trying to befriend Tristan and change the whole narrative. Let's not
Yeah.
focus on him cheating on Khloe so much. Let's focus on him being a good dad. And now he's the guardian of Amari. Let's focus on all these great qualities to change our perspective of him, which is already damaging in itself. And he's trying over there to be all charming, suave, and debonair. I ain't falling for it. You're trash. You're trash. And I don't know, Khloe, I have no idea. I think she's trying to set boundaries, but the boundaries are not there. I know she's trying. You get me? She's like, you be over there. We're not going to be together. We're not going to do this. But if you're living together, if your family is treating him like, you know, your boyfriend or husband or whatever, and whatever else is going on, you're co-parenting, and it's like you're falling back into a routine,
Right.
of being with that kind of partner.
Right.
So I don't know. I think that this is,
Right.
in my opinion, hurting her
Yeah.
because she's trying to be a bigger person. But sometimes you want to be a bigger person, but he doesn't need to be in your space.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't think he gets a clue. I think he's still trying, saying that that's his person, and we'll talk about it later.
Right.
But your ship has sailed and sunk. Like the Titan. Okay? It's done. It's done so.
Rose
Now, if
let
Chloe
you
wants
go,
to get
Jack.
back with him, huh?
Rose let you go, Jack.
Now if Chloe wants to take you back, that's on her. I
Yeah.
just don't see it happening because I feel like that's some serious therapy and counseling. But we've already been down this road. So now I'll be like, we're in therapy again.
Yep.
And that's going to bring me flashbacks. I don't know. I'm putting myself in like Chloe's shoes right now. It's going to give me flashbacks of something that didn't work. And, you know, we're going to repeat this cycle again.
Yeah.
Now, what's left?
I mean, what's the
Why are they adding him to the show? He needs a paycheck this bad? He works for ESPN Monday, Tuesday, and Friday, I guess. Who hired him? I don't know. I guess he's not a basketball player anymore.
When was he? But yeah, what's the definition of insanity? Like doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. This is literally what the family is doing. They are insane by definition. Like,
yeah,
ridiculous, bro.
And it seems like it's a recurring theme. Like we'll see later that Corey was like, well, you know, the kids, Kim, the kids, and he's a great dad. Chris is like, oh, but the kids, and
Yeah.
So fast forward to probably another episode where Courtney said, I don't think
you deserve her.
You deserve her. That's the truest thing that she's ever said.
Girl.
Non-rude thing at that.
Yeah.
All right. So section 2 is Chris and Corey. They have some freaky talk and it's weird. I'm not gonna talk about it. I don't know why. I can't even. It's cringy to me. Chris has decided in 2023 that she's only going to say yes to things that she really wants to do, and that includes date night. The producer asks Chris if she knew if her and Corey was the real thing. So she really didn't answer the question. She basically said that you got to believe things will have a happy ending, no pun intended. And then it got weird again. I don't know. I can't imagine Chris being that too. You know, a sexual being. That's weird to me. She's a momager. Okay. So her and Corey go to an Italian restaurant, and the Paps are waiting outside, and she's acting all shocked, like, "What are they doing here? Following your ass?"
No.
I'm like, "Come on, girl, don't act brand new." All right. So apparently, Chris likes to keep it spicy. Again, I'm not gonna go into it. I don't even know why I wrote it, but They eventually start talking about Tristan and Khloe and how the situation is unfortunate and how many kids don't have parents that don't co-parent well. The dynamic is going to change when he moves out. Chris says Tristan is such a great dad and Khloe is such a great mom. Then Corey, a non-member of this family, says to Chris that Chris should have one more talk with Khloe because life is short. Chris says that Khloe Tristan are so complicated and like it's different when you're looking from the outside in. I guess they have a complicated relationship. It's for them to decide their future. So with Corey, I think he was alluding to convince Khloe to take Tristan back because life is short and the kids are going to suffer. That's what I understood.
So here's my thoughts during that scene, aside from ew, cringe, ew. The filters are back. Because they was glossing over Chris a lot, covering up the wrinkles and everything. But there was points where they were being filmed inside of the restaurant when it was like facing forward.
Mm-hmm.
The filter wasn't on. But when it was sideways, the filter was on. I was like, ooh, I see what they do in there, girl. I see them wrinkles. Embrace it. Anyway.
I didn't even notice.
I was doing everything I could to not listen. I'm paying attention to everything else, ma'am. Because all it was ew, cringe, ew. Mm-hmm. Now, as far as the conversation with Corey, I feel like he is at this point a member of the family. He's been,
No, I was joking.
But I don't think he has the right to say something like that. And if you want to say it privately to your spouse, to your partner, who's Kris Jenner, that's fine. Do it privately, not where you're being filmed and it can be taken out of context and people can slice it up. And, maybe Khloe won't like seeing something like that. Again, it goes back to the same thing. I don't think she realizes how harmful all of these people are being to her. And I'm sure it's not intentional. They clearly love her, but you cannot love someone and then also want them to go back to someone who hurt them. If she was in a toxic relationship, which it kind of seems like she was, why would you want her to go back to that? Like if Tristan abused her, which technically he abused her mentally, emotionally, yeah, why would you want her to go back to? So I think that to me was not right. And Chris, I've thought this before, that to me, Chris does not stand up for her kids, like her daughters in particular. Chris is very much like on the periphery of things. Like she just doesn't want to doesn't seem like she wants to get involved, and almost kind of like she wants to stay neutral so that nobody gets mad at her or whatever, but it's like, in this particular case, she is taking Tristan's side. I get that he went through a tragedy, what happened to his mom. It's so sad. And it's even more sad, what Amari's going through. But that doesn't change or negate, what has happened. Could he possibly change? Could he be a better person? Yeah, definitely. I'm not going to sit here and say nobody changes. And I don't want to say a cheater, once a cheater, always a cheater, because people can change. But at the same time, at some point, you learn your lesson and you don't go backwards, It's like, so to me, the fact that Chris, Corey, Kim, whoever, are kind of doing this, and this episode seemed to be so centered around that, it just goes back to the same thing of here we are once again, Kim and Khloe have their lives being, plastered all over the season. We didn't see Courtney the first episode other than to hear her conversation. We didn't see Courtney this episode other than to hear her conversation. Kendall and Kylie were MIA once again. So it's with Khloe, and Kim. And unfortunately, Khloe's the one who's going through the worst because she still has a daily reminder of what she went through. Later on in the season, we're going to see where she has that conversation with Malika. I don't think it's happened yet, where she says if someone did to True what, Tristan did to her, that she would castrate them with a smile on her face. clearly she's still hurting.
Yeah.
Clearly she still has some kind of like, sentiments about that. Rightfully so. It's years and years of this stuff. And her family, the people that are supposed to be the most supportive,
Hmm.
to do that, like, horrible.
This just reminds me of that one time a friend of ours says, "All right, you have to defriend this person," and we were like, "Why?" But that's our bestie, and we did as we were told because that's what it is.
Yeah,
You ride hard for your loved ones.
right. Yeah,
So I don't know why they're not doing this for Khloe.
it sucks. It really does. Because I don't, it's like watching a car crash, on repeat. And it's like you want to save her,
Yeah.
but her family is keeping her there. That sucks.
And it's messed up that all of these it's focused on Kim and Khloe. Now that you like
Yeah,
pointed it out, I'm like,
yeah,
that's not right. But I guess it was centered around Courtney for so many years.
right.
Where's
Which
the
one?
Jenners? I thought they were going to do something, but they have proven to disappoint me once again.
Yeah. I knew that was all a lie. I knew it.
It was too good to be true.
It
We
really
should
was.
already know they're not consistent.
No, I'm not.
All right, so section 3, Kim is in at Harvard. She's at
Mhm.
Harvard in Massachusetts. Um, they're going through a run through, and the professor wants to talk about her history as an influencer, all the way to Skims, how she got there with Skims, how does she overcome imposter syndrome, etc., etc., etc. Kim is obviously so excited that she's at Harvard. I don't know why. It's not like she's a student at Harvard, but she's excited nonetheless. I got to give her that. So Kim,
Rude.
no, I'm just saying. She said, like it's hard. You're not Elle Woods, okay? I got the reference and you ain't her.
Ooh, yeah.
So she spoke about Skims, campaigns, launches, drops, what materials they use, the thought process. So she's like, I'm sure that a lot of people didn't know that I knew like the intricacies of the business and how involved I am. So there was a gentleman there. I don't know if he was a professor or not. He pointed out that Kim says that she's still misunderstood. So then Kim says, that's why it's important to film content like this for the show, because that's what the audience will see instead of her fighting with her sisters over something stupid. Then the gentleman asks if it's intentional that she doesn't show this version of her. And then she says that's why she pushes to have cameras in places where they wouldn't typically be, because she wants to show that side.
Yeah.
Um, so one student question was, with so much success, what drives you to continue pursuing new business opportunities? And then she looks at the camera and she's like, thank you, Courtney, because you always ask me this question, basically. You always harass me about this. So Kim says that she loves working and she likes feeling the success of launching her products and the creative process that's involved with it. Then there was another student. Man, this is lengthy. Then there was another student that got like a little mushy about it because she's a female
Hmm.
that's in business and finance, but she also embraces glam, and it's probably thanks to Kim. That you can be two things at once.
Yeah.
So on celebrating all types of women in Skims and changing perception, Kim said that a defining moment for her was when she went to the White House and she shot a bikini photo. She had a bikini photo shoot before that, and she thought that people were going to go to her IG and think that it was so inappropriate. But then she thought, when is being me going to be okay?
Lord
AKA
God.
the title of this
Right.
episode. She felt shameful, but she still wants to be her. Being authentically her is important to Kim. It's not a conscious decision to include things in her brand. That's just who she is, and that's what the brand is. Then the producer asks Kim, what's the secret to your success? Kim says there's something that her stepdad taught her. Shout out to Caitlin.
Yeah.
You should try to do things that you're scared of, and that are outside of your comfort zone, because that's the only way you'll grow.
I like that. And I like that
A
that's
shout
something.
out.
Yeah, I like that that's something that like stood with her all this time.
Yeah.
Um, so okay, like I think that for all the criticism that she gets from everybody, including us, um, there is something to be said about her business acumen, about the fact that she is a successful entrepreneur, and that she's been able to find her footing in the business world, right? Um, and it's got to be difficult, not just as a woman being taken serious, but being a reality star, being, all these different things that people characterize you as. And so the fact that she's been able to accomplish so much, I think is amazing. And I'm really always just like surprised by some of the things she comes up with. And I mean, it is inspirational. So I like that they have content like that, but I don't think that people will really like fully embrace it, because a lot of people had criticisms of the first season where she was trying to kind of like emphasize that, right? Emphasize her work life and everything, and it didn't really hit with audiences. So, maybe this way it can work where you're kind of only having like one scene about it or something like that, but yeah, it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool to see.
I think it's pretty cool as well. But, Kim has worked, I think, pretty hard for the past decade or two,
Yeah.
whatever amount of years to
Yeah.
be, where she's at. So the influencer to now like an ultra businesswoman, private equity own business owner, blah, 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 billionaire. She extended her 15 minutes to 20 years.
She
Like
really
she
has.
did that.
Yeah.
But I think that it's also disappointing that in some way she still hasn't grown.
Yeah.
So in what was this? The first season where she brought up Ray J.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Why?
Right.
Why would you put that in people's forefront?
Right.
If you know something is a little scandalous, I mean, I understand, you're embracing your body, you wear what you want. It's not about that. But if you want your people to take you seriously and to listen to these different things about you or these different aspects about you, me seeing you in a bikini and then you talking about uh, a prison reform, it's there's a mismatch.
Yeah. Yeah,
You
there.
get me? So I think in that way, I want to say she hasn't matured in that fashion, but at the same time, this is what the public wants to see.
Right.
So I understand probably why she keeps on doing it, but I
Yeah.
think she just got to take the L's. And if she wants to be seen in this light, she got to stop fighting with her sisters over some dumb stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe that we won't be watching the Kardashians anymore. But
No.
she got to stop fighting with her sisters and just being a little more strategic in her branding.
Right.
If her branding is still sexy and this and that, I mean, it is what it is. Obviously, you know more stuff than I do. You know what's worked for you.
Yeah.
But, I would just like to see a little more, I guess, refined Kim.
Yeah.
Like, why are you being a thotty right now? And you're also trying to be like this businesswoman.
Right.
I don't know. I'm not trying to age shame her or, clothing shame her or whatever. It's just like I feel like there's a mismatch in
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
what she's trying to, show us.
One thing though that I would say that I kind of related to was the imposter syndrome thing. Just because like that still, like, even though, like, for me personally, I feel like I know what I'm doing and all that stuff, there's still times where I question myself. There's still time where I wonder, like, do I belong here? Do I really, need to be here? Like, just because of like, I don't know, it's just something that kind of stays with you sometime. And it's like, I think I agree with her where she said it's like I don't want that feeling to go away because I want to make sure I keep working hard. So that was something that I think I actually related to her on, which is rare because I can't relate much to her.
That's true because I definitely thought of like, some instances. I'm probably the only woman. I'm
In
probably
your
the youngest,
yeah.
the minority in a conversation, in a business conversation. And sometimes it's on Zoom, so I can hide it a little more. But it's so intimidating. I'm like, oh, these people have like all this knowledge and this
Yeah.
and that, and it's all men, and it's intimidating.
Right.
I'm like, shit, do I belong here, kind of thing. But then I have to like snap myself out of it, and it's almost like now I got to show off because you
Yeah.
know I want to feel like I belong, you
Right.
know so
Yeah,
i
of
can i
course.
can relate to sometimes feeling that imposter syndrome, like how did I get here, like do I
Yeah.
belong here? And then whatever,
True.
it
True.
happens. All right, section 4. We're in LA and we're at the first Good American retail store with Khloe and Emma Reed, the CEO of Good American. So the store opens in a couple of weeks and it's not close to being done. Like, I don't understand. Unrelated. I don't understand why Kim is late to things. This is like another episode we're going to talk about where she was late to Victoria Beckham's
Fashion show.
fashion show.
Yeah.
How? You get ready like hours in advance. Like, how is this happening to you? Okay, fast forward again.
Yeah.
So I don't understand how people don't meet deadlines. Like, it's just, it boggles my mind. Whatever. So the store is not close to being done. Khloe got all anecdotal and said that she got her ears pierced at this mall. Courtney and Kim used to call 1-900 numbers. If you know what that means, let us know in the comments. And ask men to meet them at the mall. And then Kim says that they would stand them up and take Polaroids of them. Like, but they were like 15 years old.
So
I don't
weird.
know if we should excuse it,
Mhm.
but I guess she still has these Polaroids. Weirdo. Um,
Weird.
yeah, so this is the only time we hear Courtney's voice
Right.
and them interacting and not fighting over something, Dolce or whatever is
Don't
going on
say.
with them. But they go back to the Good American layout plan. They're over budget. They're trying to open 4 stores at once. They're out of time. They're 2 weeks behind. It's a ish show.
Yeah.
So basically, Khloe says that the goal is to open 50 stores.
Oh wow. I think it's awesome. What she's also done with her business, her company. Good American has stuck around. It's definitely grown, and I'm happy for her and the expansion that she's had. But I didn't really pay attention to the scene. I'll be honest with you.
Why not?
I don't know. It didn't. It didn't catch my attention. I don't.
Well,
Yeah.
good for you, Khloe. Trying to open 50 stores. I'm like,
Yeah,
that's a lot
that's
of
awesome.
business to have.
Definitely.
It's a good thing. I was wondering if Kim would put Skims in these stores. It would be a double whammy. But she has all
Good.
these I guess deals with Mace or wherever she sells at Nordstrom and all these
Mhm.
different places. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
But it
agree.
would definitely drive traffic for both of them
Yeah.
if they
They
did.
could potentially open like their own store, like all of them.
Mhm.
Kylie's products, Kim's products, Khloe. Yeah,
They should have done that.
yeah. They remember, was it for one of their seasons? They had like this launch thing or whatever, and they had different rooms representing each sister. You had the 818 room, you had, the Kylie products, Kylie whatever, and you had Skims and you had Good American. I thought that was, really interesting.
For that.
Yeah, yeah. I can't remember for what season it was. It was maybe like a year or two ago,
Yeah.
when they did it. So like I can only imagine if they were to have like their own store and all that, and then have a
Mhm.
little bar in the back with 818. I've never drank it, so I don't know if it's good or not, but I'm sure they're gonna have to like have it, so that'd be cool.
All right. Section 5. I guess Kim is on Kim Air. And she's going to Ohio to meet with Kevin Keith's family. He's been incarcerated for 28 years, and Someone brought this to her attention 4 years ago. She did a podcast on Spotify about him and is going to meet him basically face to face. Kim is also connecting with his family because, they were affected as well. And so, an update is that they got a hearing with the governor, which is unheard of. There's a possible parole opportunity.
That's amazing. I think that, like, these are the sort of things that celebrity should be used for, in these sort of instances. So I like seeing those sort of or that sort of content, and the fact that she's still, after all these years, she's still sticking to this criminal justice reform and everything. So I don't know if she's ever going to become a lawyer, but it's still pretty cool.
And then you call me shady.
I was wondering though, like, is she?
No, I wondered that too. I'm like, when are you going to be a lawyer? Like, I want to know at this point. But I'm glad she's using her platform for some good. I wish other celebrities did the same thing. So,
yeah, same.
But they don't because they think about themselves. All right, section 6. We're in LA. Chris is going to do a music video with Megan Trainor. Megan is an American singer, songwriter, and TV personality. So basically, we're behind the scenes of this music video. She hasn't told her kids, but I guess someone told Kim. Chris was glad that she did it because she's having the time of her life. It's the music, it's the glam, it's the vibe.
So you want me to be honest?
Sure.
I fast forwarded.
Why?
I don't listen to Megan Trainor. No shade, no shade to her. I don't know her music, and I don't really care for Chris's.
That song is popular, or was.
Which one?
I heard it.
Oh no, I never heard it.
Yeah.
Like whenever, like I stopped the fast forwarding, and it was like towards the end, and they were playing the song. I was like, I never heard it. Something about your mother. Yeah. I don't care for Chris's acting. Like, so no. Yeah.
She's trying to be like the Kardashians, okay? Oh, she wants to be like Kim, She really does. Kim's into acting now, for those who don't know, right. Or was, or is continuing. I don't know what she's doing. All right, section 7, which this is basically the end. I don't know if this is the juicy one, the one where we get pissed off, or the one where we're just throwing the papers in the air and just giving up. But it's Khloe and Tris trash. They're going through pictures, and I guess they're getting a little nostalgic. Khloe scanned the pictures. I'm like, don't you have people to do that? But whatever. Khloe says that she's not naive, that she is basically living in real sensitive times, whatever that means. Tristan is in the fresh stages of grieving. I'm grieving this still. Like, why is Tristan still there? She wants to make sure that the boundaries are set and in place and that there's full transparency. Khloe asked about the status of Tristan's house. Tristan says that there's a bunch of construction, but he'll be moving out, so he says. Khloe says, you're probably damaging the house just so you can stay here longer. I wouldn't even doubt it. He probably gave these people, these construction people, like a hiatus and be like, hey, come back in 3 months. All expenses paid. I'm trying to win this girl back. Yeah. I wouldn't doubt it.
I wouldn't either.
Khloe says that she loves her space and being alone. Love is not something you play with, whatever that means. Here we find out that Tristan has a job with ESPN and he works Monday, Tuesday, and Friday. Khloe says that it's hard to be on live TV because of XYZ reasons. I don't even know. Let's get to the good stuff. I don't even care about this.
Oh, you're fast forwarding?
Yeah, I'm fast forwarding to all these things. Okay. So Tristan says that the sports environment is rough. It's cutthroat, competitive, a dog-eat-dog world. You do as you please. You're the man, bros before. I guess that's what he thought when he was with Khloe. I don't know. So he basically had to look within I didn't know he had a heart, but he had to look within.
Okay.
Um, and basically not care what people think. He doesn't want to seek validation from others anymore. And he doesn't want True or Prince to be embarrassed that he's their father. Why they? Uh, what happened to Tatum? And what happened to
Theo.
Ese? Theo. Uh, Tristan is reflectioning on meeting his person and hurting them, which is Khloe. Producer asks Khloe, "Is it hard for you to hear that you're his person?" Khloe says that Tristan said that she's his person before. That's not that she doesn't believe him, but she's heard it before.
Mm.
If I am your person, then why would you have treated me this way? And how many times? It wasn't like a one time thing, which is very understandable. Like,
Right.
Tristan is basically entering a new chapter in his life. It's always good to have a strong support system, which this really peeved me, but we'll talk about it later. Khloe says that they're not a family that's an eye for an eye, especially in times of need. That's when you rally together. Khloe wants her karma to always be great. Khloe says that the experience was traumatic and won't forget it. Basically, her relationship with Tristan. But she can be kind and mature, and she can basically co-parent. And she says that everyone has done dumb shit before, but just not on a public platform. And her goal is just basically to be a great co-parent.
So, was this family not an eye for an eye when they were dragging Jordan's name through the mud? I just don't understand how, we have such short memories when it comes to
Mm-hmm.
certain things,
Yeah.
It's like selective memories, basically. Um, I, as a grown up, sure, I can understand that, you want to have people around you to support you when you're going through something like a devastating loss. And on like the perspective of Khloe, I can also understand her just having a big heart and wanting
Yeah.
to help. After all, that it's the father of her kids. I get that. Um, but this rebrand that they're trying to do of Tristan T by four Trash Thompson is really
Disgusting.
sickening.
Yeah.
Like, because at the end of the day, like, so much of what they say, what they do, it's so public, right? And these things are going to be on the internet forever. You're sitting there saying, I don't want, my kids to like be embarrassed, blah, blah. Your kids are going to be embarrassed. Not once, not twice, three times that we know of. Like, they're gonna be embarrassed. You embarrassed their mother. Like, and I'm not even going into what
All the mothers.
Theo, yeah, and Prince may think. Like, it's ridiculous to me that they are trying so hard to rebrand him. And
Yeah.
Khloe, if you want to set boundaries, set them outside your house, girl. Like,
Yeah.
there, there's no. You can have a big. You could have paid for his hotel room, girl. That would have been a big heart move right there.
Money is not an obstacle for them. That's for sure.
It's not. So anyway, like you said earlier, we've said the same stuff already a bunch of times when it comes to this, when it comes to him. Clearly,
Yeah.
we're not fans of his, and I really just I don't appreciate what they're doing to the fans with trying to like get everybody to be on board this new Tristan train. Like,
Yeah.
I don't care for it.
I just don't like, and I'm looking for the wording. So in the section one, he says it's always good to have family behind you to make everything better. He also said, let's
Like the
see.
support.
Yeah, Tristan is entering a new chapter in his life. It's always good to have a strong support system. It just seems like he has nobody and he's leaning on them now.
Yeah. I
And
mean,
it's just still all about Tristan. like, oh, I have the support system and I thank you guys and you guys are there for me and
Mm-hmm.
da 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 da. It's all
Yeah.
about him still.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
he's infuriating.
Like with the anecdote that Kim was giving, oh, he stood up for us and he stepped in and he goes to the games and takes Saint to dinner. When's the last time he took Prince to dinner? Don't they live in the same city? Has
When
he
was
ever
the last,
met
when
Theo?
was the first or last time he saw Theo?
I don't think he's met the boy. So
And that's
like it's they're living in a bubble,
yeah.
right? Obviously we talked about them being very unrelatable, a lot of things in their life, we can
Yeah.
never relate to. But I feel like this is like on a whole nother level. Like this is like an extreme bubble. Because very clearly we know of two who don't have the same experience that you have. And while it's great that he can be a great father to True and to Tatum, like nobody's saying that he shouldn't be a great father to those two kids. That's great. But it's hard to really believe this rebrand that they're trying to give when it is publicly known that he wanted zero to do with his other son, Theo, and that he's had almost zero interaction with his oldest son based on different information that's been provided, including today by the boy's aunt. So it's like hard to really say, you know what? I could believe this rehabilitation of Tristan. Sure, okay. No, like it's really not. At which point will it ever be okay for Khloe to move on? Can you imagine the day she brings somebody home? The way in which her family will probably still bring up Tristan, will probably still have Tristan at the parties the same way they did Scott.
Yeah.
They will like literally make it difficult. And I really believe, not to bring somebody who has nothing to do with it, but Courtney, I really believe Courtney being with Travis and her family to the side is the best thing she could do for herself. I wish Khloe could do the same thing, but there's no way that girl's doing that. So this is just going to continue. It's one big cycle.
Yeah. This is a sad cycle.
It really is. It
I don't
really
know.
is.
I had another thought, but I kind of forgot it. So
My bad.
I don't know. Tristan, he's pretty infuriating. Let me see. Let me read these notes real quick.
Yeah. It's bad, Pretty bad.
Oh no, but you said it perfectly. He sucks. Oh, I remember now. So, with this hard launch of Tristan is God's gift to earth kind of thing. Great parent, great parent. Kim said, he's been there for Saints and picks him up and this and that.
Mm-hmm.
Why couldn't Kim just be like, he supported me in a lot of ways when I needed help.
Right, right.
Leave it at that. Because I mean, I'll just put myself in, like, let's say, Princess shoes. Uh, and then I hear that in the future, I'll be like, damn, he was there for somebody that wasn't his kid, but I was here and he never showed up.
Yeah.
Like, you know how hurtful that is as a, that your dad is doing something for somebody else and
Yeah.
not for me.
So it's like you're worried about them being embarrassed by something you said or did or whatever, but you're not worried about them being traumatized by your behavior, by your lack of fathering, by, like
That
that
sense of
nature.
abandonment that
Yeah.
makes me worry.
Like your concern is selfish. Oh, they're gonna be embarrassed of me. Like you're not concerned of the mental, emotional damage that you're doing to these kids the same way you weren't concerned about the mental and emotional damage you did to Khloe.
And now she's your person. I mean, I'm all about forgiving, but he tried her one too many times, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Relationships are complicated.
yeah,
That's besides the point. If she wants to get back with him, cool.
right.
But for me, I think he tried her one too many times.
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
Period. End of sentence. He's whack. He needs to go somewhere. I don't know, somewhere remote in Nebraska.
Yeah.
Like how is he basically filling Kanye's shoes?
I know.
That's also another thing. I'm like, okay, so Kim, are you alluding that or trying to say that Kanye's a bad dad, a poor dad, or what's the word? Give me a good
Like
adjective.
absentee dad.
An absentee dad, like a dad that's not there for his kids. Because as far as I know from the internet, he's in Italy right now, despite of him being doing his Kanye thing. He's
Right.
over there trying to record an album. So
Right.
the agreement was that Kim was going to have the kids. And then when the album is over, they would resume whatever custody agreement that they had.
Yeah.
That's what the internet is saying. So if I'm just listening to that, now Kanye never shows up.
Yeah.
I don't know. I
It,
don't know.
it
Maybe he does and maybe he does. But I'm just trying to point out things.
it's just it's wrong on so many levels. Like,
Hmm.
but yeah, I'm just interested to know what people are gonna say. Like, they agree with us, or y'all think we're being dramatic. Of course we're being dramatic, but that's not the point. Anyway.
Yeah. Let us know what you think in the comments about this episode. What do
Yeah.
we think about this Tristan rebrand? I hope you guys are siding with us because he really ain't ish. Exclamation mark.
Trash.
Exclamation mark. Trash. Tris trash. He has the permanent emoji. Like when you go to a dictionary, those old school dictionaries, like and you have to flip the pages and they might have a picture and they have a trash can. Tristan is in it, kind of thing. But let us know what you think in the comments about this episode. Kim going to Harvard, business expansions for Kim and what's the other one's name? Khloe. There's so many K names in this. The
Every episode you say that. Every
I
episode.
know. The absence of the other K's, Courtney, Kendall, and Kylie. Um, Chris being freaky. Let, what do you think? Like, just let us know because we want to know and we want to laugh.
Yeah.
If you haven't already done so, please subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos. Also, please share our video. We're growing our community and we're so excited. So your friends could be our friends and we could all be friends and just have fun and chit chat and laugh and try people because that's what we love to do. We also have social media, which Dee'll tell you about.
We're on TikTok and Instagram at Hear Me Out DNE. So make sure you guys follow, like, share, comment. It's always a good time.
All right, we'll see you next time for the next episode. Peace out.
Bye. Why are you so weird?
Bye.
Guys.